Guys, Marsing here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're taking a look at another one of the World Tournament units that got their EZA with this current World Tournament that's ongoing at the moment on Global, and that is the STR Super Saiyan Goku. So this STR Super Saiyan Goku, you can see he's wearing the Whis Gi outfit and the no undershirt. He is from Dragon Ball Super, from the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament. I believe, right? He's from the fight against Hit, or at least from the tournament before he has to go Super Saiyan Blue or use like the Blue Kaioken, obviously. So he is from Dragon Ball Super, which means he is on Superheroes. I think he's one of the few actual superheroes Super Saiyan Gokus, but we've got him full link level 10. We're going to try him out here. We are running him on the Super Saiyans team with the double LR Super Saiyan Trio from the end of last year. I do want to try both him and the AGL Gohan out on the Vegeta team, but I'll probably try them both out together because they do both have a condition for being run on a full Super Saiyans setup. So this guy has raised attack and defense for 1 turn, supreme damage, and a high chance to stun as his super attack effect. So obviously any additional supers, additional defense raise for the turn, which can be helpful. He gets 3 key, attack and defense 150 at start of turn, additional attack and defense 150% when performing a super. 150% on super is a pretty decent number, so that's interesting. Obviously, of course, if he's got low start of turn defense, then it doesn't really matter all that much, but 150% is a good number. He changes AGL orbs to STR when there's another 2 or more Super Saiyans or superhero allies on the team. So they only have to be on the team, they don't have to be on the rotation, and he's changing AGL orbs to STR. He has a high chance to seal the attacked enemy super for 2 turns, and a high chance of performing a crit when there's 3 or more STR key spheres obtained, and then he launches an additional additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super with 2 or more orbs, 4 or more orbs obtained. So 3 orbs, you get high chance to seal and a high chance to crit, and then if you get 4 orbs, you get an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super. So mine has 18 additional. He's got, I think he's one of his skill orbs just gives him an extra 1 crit. He gets the 5 for being an STR unit, and then 16 dodge. The interesting thing with this guy is he's not a support unit, right, like the AGL Gohan. So if you're bringing him on the team, it's not, you know, him there supporting everybody else. The orb changing can be kind of helpful, but obviously he wants to pick up orbs himself, and it's not any type of orbs, right? He actually has to get the STR orbs that he's going to be making. So on this Super Saiyans team, the thing that's interesting is I did want to bring Kaba, because of course he's a 60% support for Super STR. They'll share a few links, but of course Kaba wants you to bring a bunch of other STR units, which kind of limits the team building considering the Super Saiyans that lead the team are int. So we've got God Goku and then a bunch of other STR units. We have Kaba on the first rotation with this Goku, which is pretty good. However, as you can see, the fact they both change orbs and they both want STR orbs, right? So if we were to do this, this is a really good turn for Kaba, but then we'll get no orbs for Goku. So since this is a showcase for him, you know, we'll grab the orbs for him. So he's going to get all of his buffs here. We'll go ahead and pick these up. So on this rotation, we've got Super Saiyan prepared for battle and shattering the limit. We have 154k defense at the start of the turn. So he gets 150% on Super. So he's going to be at about 375-ish, right, with his defense. And he gets a 30% raise on Super. So he should be a little over 400k. Unfortunately, he doesn't have like any other defensive tech, right? Now, because we picked up the orbs, we have the chance to get an additional from his passive. And of course, we could get the hidden potential. So he could do a triple super. And then that's putting him up to closer to 500k, which on global, at least, is, you know, close enough to tanking most normals, right? Unless it's like bosses like Zamasu that raise their attack post super. So 6 mil for his attack stat. I think obviously his animation's not like super detailed or crazy or anything, but I do like the fact that he does the sort of like 1-inch punch type thing. It's kind of cool. But yeah, we got the additional from his passive, but no hidden potential. So he's probably looking at around, hovering around 450k defense, I think, for that turn, which, again, like, he'll tank most normals for that. when it comes to things like, you know, taking him up against Red Zone Fusion Zamasu, like he's not going to be tanking AoEs before he attacks, because he gets a significant amount of his defense on super, right? 150% from the passive and the 30% from the super attack effect. So his start of turn defense at 150k, that puts him at taking what, like 400k from Zamasu's AoEs or something like that. So not particularly ideal. Right, let's get the Super Saiyans floated off here. Cell can be stunned, so this turn's basically just GG, right? Because you're going to do this. Now, the thing about this Goku, I talked about it a little bit when I did the video breaking down the World Tournament EZAs that were going to come out. One of the things that I mentioned that can be very useful, that unfortunately we won't get to take advantage of here, is because he changes a specific type of orb, it means that you can kind of try and set him up ready ahead of the turn, right, that he's going to be on, by leaving AGL orbs on the previous rotation. The only problem with that, of course, is in situations like this, where you finish off one of the phases and move into the next one, and Goku's on that turn. Obviously, we have no control over the orbs on the field. So, got a pretty decent orb change here, though. I guess we could... I suppose we don't really want... Kaba and this Goku together, because they're just going to keep stealing each other's orbs, right? So, and of course God Goku could do the same thing, right? If he changes, if he's first on the rotation and he changes the AGL orbs into physical, then there's no AGL orbs for this STR Goku to change into STR. So I guess it's kind of interesting. This guy, I wanted to run in with Kaba for the sake of the showcase, just because of the 60% support, but realistically they kind of clash with each other pretty heavily. And of course bringing Kaba means you have to build the team in a certain way so that you have all these extra STR units. Now, a superheroes build would be kind of interesting. This Goku is on the 200% lead for physical LR Ultimate Gohan. And obviously, you know, Superheroes is a very strong team as it is anyway, and gets a pretty significant amount of buffs with the anniversary stuff. But I think the big problem for this Goku compared to the AGL Gohan is you can kind of find a spot for the AGL Gohan on the team because he's providing support. Whereas this guy, he's not providing any support. So what he's providing to the team, especially when it comes to this turn, right, is 3 attack stats that were around 6 mil. So not bad, right? Not terrible damage. Those attacks have a 50% chance to crit. You know, it's an alright little bit of damage. But when it comes to who we're going to put on this Super Saiyans team, we probably have considerably better options that we could bring if we're just bringing a unit that all they do on the team is do damage, right? Because he's not providing any support or anything like that. So he's just there for damage. His tanking isn't particularly, like, impressive, right? Like I say, post-super, he'll be tanking most normals, but he'll be taking a lot of damage from big super attacks. And when you consider all the buffs that the Super Saiyans team has got, and all of the buffs that the Superheroes team will get, it just kind of... it seems like there's not really much of a place for him on those teams, right? And then, of course, we'll get into situations like this, where we can grab these, and then, yeah, we can get the 3 orbs for him, but we can't get the 4, which means we can't get the additional super from his passive, which means that if we're doing it 1 less attack, which means we're less likely to trigger the hidden potential. So this could very much be one of those turns where we only see him just do a single super attack, and then that's it, right? We didn't get the 4 orbs, so he won't even do the additional normal that could be a super, right? That's what the 4 orbs gives you. Hidden potential could kick in and we just get a normal. Obviously that's the case all the time anyway, but it's why units having an additional attack that has a chance to become a super is significantly better than, like, for example, Gotenks we talked about in his showcase, where he has a chance to do an additional super, because if that chance doesn't proc, you get nothing. Whereas at least if the additional procs but it isn't a super, you get an extra attack, which means you get an extra chance to do your hidden potential additional. So we get the super, we did get the hidden potential, there's only a normal. Now, him having the stun chance is obviously pretty useful for this showcase in particular. You know, good old Red Zone Cell being our sort of testing ground for these units, just so we can see their numbers. It's one of those things I like to do this event because it's a little bit on the longer side, so we can see a few turns of these guys. But these initial showcases really are just to see the numbers that these guys do. and then that gives us an idea of how good they're going to be in these other events, because, you know, this Goku doesn't need to build up at all, so what we see is what we get, basically, even from turn 1. But we can already see from the numbers that we get to see that if we're taking him up against Fusion Zamasu, then he's just going to get absolutely destroyed by the AoEs. If we're taking him up against Omega, he could be okay, I guess, in the first phase. Obviously, Omega does like to super a lot in slot 1 and stun or seal, but this Goku's not a slot 1 unit, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And then the STR AoE phase, obviously depending on where the AoE is in return, his AoE does hit weaker the more people it hits, right? So if Goku's getting hit third, he's still going to take some damage, but not a huge amount. But then, of course, when we get to in Omega, especially considering that guy likes to AoE multiple times, and some of them are slot 1, then obviously we do stand a pretty high chance of this Goku getting absolutely crushed by him, which is unfortunate. And even in this kind of situation, like you can see now that we've got no support, he's starting the turn at 118k defense, which, you know, not very good. We get 150 on super, so that puts us up to what, like, just we're not even getting to 300 from that, right? And then with the super attack effect, we are sort of getting to about 300k, which is not really ideal. So we do this, and then yeah, this is a huge problem. So no STR, or well, I say no, we can't get any parts of his passive, right? Because we need to get 3 to get the chance to seal or chance to stun, which, to be fair, in a lot of events, that doesn't really matter, right? But it's the 4 STR orbs that you want, and that kind of shows the problem with running him on a team with a bunch of units that also require orbs. Like God Goku changes orbs and needs orbs, the Super Saiyans change orbs and need orbs, and then you've got him as well. So obviously doing this as the initial showcase, the Super Saiyans team probably not the best. Well, the build for the Super Saiyans team where you have the LR Super Saiyan trio as the leader, probably not the best build for him. Although he's going to be on the he should be on the Saiyan Day Vegeta full 200% team, right? Because it's Super Saiyans and Vegeta family, and then his secondary lead is Pure Saiyans, isn't it? Let me bring up the Goku. I did check it before we started to make sure I had I was going to check his 200% teams, and then obviously I knew we could just use him on the actual LR Super Saiyans. But if we go to Super STR Goku, where is this guy? There he is. Well, let's check his. We'll check and see his all of his 200% leaders, because remember, you want to run him with superheroes or Super Saiyans. So like him having leaders like the Kai Goku, he's on Bond of Master and Disciple, so he has the Int Carnival Gohan as well. I mean, he's on those characters' leader skills, but it's not going to be particularly worthwhile running him on those teams, because obviously he's not going to be getting the right bus. I mean, to be fair, I guess you only need the 2 allies for him to change orbs. So I suppose, to be fair, you can very easily build a team with almost any of his leaders, I guess, that will have a decent setup for him. But yeah, physical Ulma Gohan, Orange Piccolo, the Saiyan Day Vegeta, Bardock, of course, because it's like every Goku's on the Tech Bardock's 200% lead, Yamcha, STR, Gohan, and Piccolo as well. So he's on quite a few different 200% teams, and because the restriction for his orb changing is just the 2 or more Super Saiyans or superheroes, nothing else in his passive requires those allies to be on the rotation or any more than 2 of them. So actually, I would say, judging by sort of how we've got on here, I mean, it's good for the links, right, to have a bunch of other Super Saiyans with him, but especially with this particular team build that we've run, with a bunch of other characters that want to be changing orbs, probably not the most ideal team for this Goku. But he certainly could be an interesting option, but it's just, as we said before, right, when you consider what he provides to the team, and we look at like the overall roster for these other teams, Super Saiyan, superheroes, I mean, at the end of the day, what really hurts him is that he's a Super Saiyan Goku, and there are so many other options for Super Saiyan Gokus that are all just considerably better than him. And then the Super Saiyans and Superheroes teams have plenty of options that are considerably better than him, which is a bit of a shame, because I mean, he's kind of cool. He's definitely not like a bad unit. He just is in kind of a weird spot. We'll throw a sticker on him. I wonder if the impact effect from the punch should look cool, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad as far as sticker effects go. Not the best we've seen, but yeah, let me know what you guys think of the STR Super Saiyan Goku down below in the comment section. Like I say, he's definitely not a terrible unit, but he's certainly not anything super special. And unfortunately, when it comes to the teams that he wants to be run on, there's just a bunch of other units that you would probably run over him. So unfortunately for him, it is what it is. Decent for a free-to-play unit for a World Tournament EZA. A lot of them have just been straight up terrible. But yeah, certainly not anything crazy. Not exactly impressive in terms of defense. The triple super turn, like he could do a decent little bit of damage if he's getting 3 6mm supers and he's getting the crits off of that 50% chance from his passive. But yeah, not super impressive, but definitely not terrible. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.